Thank you. Thank you, Art, for having the room open. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This is for the short fuse. And this is for the long fuse. This is for the fire that was burning. And this is for the spirit of this room. Go boom, Stardust! How? Whack! May you have what you seek, here in the heartbeat between grief and need. I see you. I saw you. Presence is consent for truth. Let us be who we are nonsensically at once, very much interdependent and elusive in our answers about what exactly we are committed to. Acknowledged we are trusting of our instinct and remain rightfully suspicious of our nature. May we each nurture the urge to eventually forgive and forget. Whatever it was, whatever you did, let it go. Be done with it.
Let's go.
This is for the spirit of this room. For the spirit of confident hope and the spirit of eagerness. For the spirit of those who listen, they hold space for every circumstance of this human condition. This is for the spirit of equanimity. This is for the struggling and the suffering. Do not struggle. Do not suffer. This is the manifest vision of every attendant. As you are with me, I am with you. Now, for trust. I'm going to tell you a story.
Woo!
I'm going to tell you a story I call Soup, Summates, and Narrates the Virginity of Jesus Lost.
Oh God. It's okay, Paula.
Say more.
After the Ophelia incident, Jesus went away for a while to the desert of Stockton. With 9 months left of his sentence, Jesus was paroled by the state of California into a halfway house at the age of 20 in West Sacramento. Employment being the first condition of his release, Jesus went looking for a job. He nailed his very first interview and was hired within days of re-entry to be a bookseller at the only bookstore in the downtown plaza. Jesus walked from deep in West Sacramento across the old bridge into Old Sac through the tunnel into the recently redeveloped shopping center for his 4 weekly 8-hour shifts paying $7.50 an hour, and he liked it. A witchy girl named Serenity Miller found him during his opening shift on a Wednesday in the second week in November. He was shelving the go-back card in mystery when he saw her standing there. Her long doff girl black dress and 4 sterling silver face piercings got his eye right away. He was humming an obscure early U2 song as he worked, and when she sang along quietly in a very pretty voice as he reached the chorus, "When you're falling down is when I'm falling down," Jesus nearly wept. After a brief chat about the brilliance of a certain Bono, he asked her to stick around for his break, and she said yes. At the register, she purchased a leather-bound journal and a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, then sat in the main rotunda smoking clothes for an hour and a half. On his first break, Jesus told Serenity his entire life story in an honest and entirely overwhelming 10-minute nutshell. She believed him and offered to stay until he took lunch. "I'd like to learn more about you," she said. Over Doritos and Mountain Dew, lunch, he read her 4 of his poems in a short story. Moved, she suggested they visit a cafe on 16th Street that started doing open mic every Thursday over the last few years. "You should join me tomorrow," she said. "We can hang out afterwards at the park too, maybe." This invitation warmed the heart of Jesus. They met just before 7 and waited, holding hands for the owner to open the door. The small cafe filled up very quickly. Serenity and Jesus took the last open seats under the neon sign on the east-facing window, and they each ordered a coffee from a radiant waitress. Jesus signed his name on the open space on line 7 when handed the sign-up list, and I'll share you a snippet of what he shared that night. "I've been expecting you not to like me, so go ahead and surprise me, if that's the thing you think you can do. And I learned a long time ago, when you love someone, let them go. So Why am I still holding on to you? I'm walking on wounded heels. I'm shooting myself in the foot again. I'm drifting in and out of what you might call sleep, but what the hell would you know about what it's like to be me? I've been expecting you to be just like me. And I know that it's unfair, so it does not surprise me that you are, and I am not who I used to be. As he took his seat under the sign, the applause ended. The host, a genial and handsome man named Joe, thanked him for reading and said, "I hope you come back and read again," with genuine enthusiasm. This whole experience thrilled Jesus. They left together when it was almost 9, so he could be back before 11 p.m. curfew, walking 3 blocks south in the dark of Fremont Park. Alone there on benches long enough to sleep on, she put his hand under her silky dress. This is new. He growled in satisfaction as she purred in his ear. "Get us a room Saturday night so we can finish what we're starting." Over our Friday morning coffee and smokes, he told me his plan was to stay at the Berry Hotel. He had approval for his one-night stand from the proper authorities before noon. Saturday, Serenity rode public transit from the newly constructed Butterfield Light Rail Station to downtown, where she got the YOLO 42 out to Southport Parkway. As she came off of the bus in our neighborhood, she greeted me with a warm and welcoming hug. I was privileged to meet her. As they left, I chuckled and said to Jesus, "Good luck, bro." Serenity turned and winked at me. "He doesn't need luck tonight, Sue." They walked down Jefferson, across a short bridge, and took a left onto Stone, where they sat on the edge of the sidewalk in front of the bus stop sign. Across the street was a park. It was 4:36 p.m. on a brisk day in late November 1997. According to the bus schedule Jesus kept in his left front pocket, 56 minutes of waiting remained. At first, they passed time smoking cherry and banana-flavored bees. Then they each had a Newport. Finally, she shared with him his first clove. At last, they began, as the old folks call it, heavy necking and petting. It just happened the way these things do. 38 minutes into a 1-hour wait for a bus that would take them to a hotel where they planned to have comfortable sex, they spied a row of free porta potties in the shadows and tall trees below a fence that kept most people from walking on the train tracks across the Sacramento River deep water ship channel. Jesus and Serenity exchanged a horny glance, and, well, to get it over with, yes, he lost his virginity in a porta potty. No, it wasn't really all that disgusting, actually. The outhouses were pretty new. The setting smelled more like Serenity than it did the pea biscuits in the urinal. Yes, they wiped down the seat first. And yes, Jesus did say, "Oh, so this is heaven," as he entered. 6 minutes and 43 seconds later, they were back in front of the bus stop. Of course, just as they lit the post-sex victory cigarette, the bus turned off at Jefferson and off to the Berry they went. And that's what happened. Woo! Finally, thank you. Very briefly, I am Jason Albright for now. Call me Soup if you feel friendly. I sell my art under the name FinePrint. I find single shoes and take my pictures. Look for those at Soup_McGee on Instagram. It's truth magic. It's a true story. It's a cool thing. Libido walks. Thank you to my indomitable wife, Diana Albright, for all the many everythings. To Jenny and Sho, thank you for welcoming me as I careen out of my cave. And Art, of course, I want to thank you for the years of support and hard work and encouragement for so many people working to exercise their own voice in this invaluable artistic community.
Yes!
Woo! You can see Ivy or me or Diana at that table for Aspects and Introduction. It's the first book in a series I call All the Rest is Public Record. And for stickers, another art by Ivy. Woo! In each of us, I breathe, the doctor and the detective. The detective asks us questions like, why am I here and who am I anyways? And the doctor already started answering those questions as soon as I started asking. And all the rest is public record. I use this framework to take on the voices of society gatekeeping rehabilitation. During the satanic panic super predator era, a population of at least 8,000 kids every year from 1987 through 1998 inhabited the notorious California Youth Authority. On March 5th, 2022, that population was under 600 total wards. The last facility opened today in the Youth Authority is called OH Close. In 1996, it opened an accredited high school, Joanna Boss High. I took part in that naming ceremony as I was selected poet laureate by my class, the first to graduate there. I am proud to have survived the atrocities I've seen, and I'm proud of those who survived them with me. I'm in awe of freedom still. I came from Joanna Boss directly to this stage, believing that the pendulum had swung, would swing, is swinging towards healing, towards relief, towards acceptance. Thank you for rewarding such belief. You can message me through social media to find out how to hear more stories about Jesus and Soup and Young John and Skip and Ophelia, the doctor and the detective, and finally to those here in this room. Thank you for being here and staying ready to share. I'm grateful for your focus and attention. I'm excited to hear each of you tonight. My ears are yours now.